Well, our goal every year, I said last year that our goal was to show progress, and that's our goal again this year, take another step. And at the end of the year, knocking down the door to get the playoffs, get stronger as the season goes on. We made a lot of progress last year, and we'll continue to, that'll be our goal right now going into the season. Obviously, goals shift and change a little bit as the season goes, but that's our goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, it would be ideal. So we're going to have to use resources now. But that's the way that they want to do it, and I'm not going to argue with it. I respect the process, but we'll continue. We have a good vetting process. I feel very confident with our organization, with my staff, and we'll vet every single player. So. Well, Dirk and I have lots of conversations. We're on the same page here. And he said at the end of the year that we need to add playmakers. So, we'll always look to add playmakers to this team. Surround Jameis with guys that can make plays. Not to say that we don't like the players that we already have, but we can always have more. I think Dirk talked about, we did have a conversation or conversations with Vincent, and I have the utmost respect for him. Everybody in the organization does. In my mind, and Dirk's mind, and the owner's mind, he'll be a Buck for life. So whatever happens, happens. But we'll always want Vincent to be around the organization. There's a lot of players that we like at that position that free agents or in the draft. And that's the process we're going through right now. You can't always get what you want. Sounds like a song there, but we're going to do the best that we can to add depth and to add playmakers. Yeah, when you hear our pitch in our voice when we talk about Jameis, and Quan is really no different on that side. Loves the game, one of the hardest working guys we have on our team. He's got a bright future. No, we've checked in with Doug. We want to make sure his well-being is very important to us right now. We don't have to make a decision right now. We've got time. So there's no point in coming out and saying what we want to do or what we plan on doing. We're going to let the process play out, and it's good for both parties. Yep. We really like Jaquez. Because of a rule with the CBA, he was an MSB, minimum salary benefit player. We can't sign him until free agency starts. So our ideal situation, we'd love to have Jaquez back.
Yeah,
Well, first of all, they need to have a passionate work ethic. We have that guy. He's got to be a great teammate. He's got to be a competitor. So he checks all those boxes to the nth degree. So that's where it has to start. If you have a guy, he obviously has talent. Otherwise, he wouldn't won the Heisman, wouldn't have the record he did in college. But if you combine that with a guy that works as hard as he does, and I can't stress it enough, just how happy we are with how hard he works, what a great, mature leader he is, then you can expect success. That's more of a coaching question, but he had the arm, he had the pro-style offense, he was comfortable in the pocket, and those are all things that are hard to find right now in a quarterback coming out. The spread systems, and we liked him on tape. Then obviously we did the vetting process and liked him even more. So he had the foundation, and now we're just building on that foundation. What he's done the first 2 years has been pretty good, so we just expect more. For a quarterback? Oh, it's tough in 15 minutes. I mean, what are you listening for? You want to hear it, you you want to hear the passion, you want to see the passion. You can usually get a pretty good gauge of that. They get coached up pretty well though, so it's difficult. 15 minutes. It's more I keep going back to the vetting process. It's more of what we learn about the player by talking to everybody behind the scenes than it is the actual face-to-face in that 15 minutes. We get him for a full day. We go visit him at a school for a full day, then you get a even better picture.
What's that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Right. Well, we're gonna put our time into just about everybody. So quarterback's no different. But obviously, the quarterback is you win and lose with the quarterback. It's the most important position on the team. So you're going to spend more time with that. Yeah, but we tailored the questions to the individual. We spent a lot of time gathering. Our scouts do an amazing job gathering information on every player, just about every detail you can imagine, going back to elementary school. So we read through all that all year, and then we tailor the questions to the individual.
The quarterback class in this draft is said to be developmental, especially at the top. And maybe if there's not a guy who's rookie ready the way James was, is that how you see the quarterback class?
There's good quarterbacks in this class. They all have an element of developmental, no matter what year you're talking about in the draft. Every quarterback needs some developmental time. So. I know Dirk was excited for you to. Did you ask him that question to him? Yeah, he unfortunately made a mistake. Used a poor word choice. He knows it. He owned it. We are fully supportive of Jameis, and I can sit here and talk for hours about how much we love Jameis Winston. We are, from ownership to everybody in the building, we fully support Jameis. Made a mistake. He owned it. Moving on. Talk to a lot of people. Use a lot of resources to find out as much as we can about him, and spend a lot of time. Number one, he's a quarterback, so we want to make sure you hit on the quarterback. But number two, like you said, there were some things that we wanted to clear up. During that process, months of doing that, every day as I'm getting updates, it got better and better and better. And there was never a day where it took a step back. It only got better. And quite possibly one of the most mature, finest young men that I've ever evaluated and drafted. He started, we liked what we saw in Cam last year, but then this year at training camp, he was one of our most consistent players. And he maintained that throughout the season. He's got a good rapport with the quarterback. He's got really good hands. He makes a lot of contested catches. He's really smart, and he's getting better as a blocker. We're really excited about it. Not necessarily. He's a rookie. He's 21 years old. He had to learn that he's not doing this for fun anymore. He's got a lot of people depending on him, but we'll continue to get competition and look for the best competition for him, or he might be the competition for somebody else. We'll see how that goes, but he was young. He's working very hard. He wants to get better. He's just like any other player. So I think it depends on the individual, the player, year to year. It's not necessarily a general philosophy that we're going to draft a kicker in the second round every year. So.
If that has any merit, if it does have merit, can you explain why that is?
Yeah, that theory's been going around for a while now. It makes it a little bit more challenging to look for an offensive lineman or see him in positions what we ask for in our offense. But it still boils down to you want an athletic guy, you want a guy that has strength and power and smart and has good movement. And so if you can see those things, and you can in bits and pieces, you just don't see it as quickly, identify it as quickly as you did in the past. but you can still see it. It just makes it more challenging. I thought they wasn't as good as 2015. I think they did it as the year went on. They got better. Our left tackle, Donovan Smith, came on in the second half and was the player that we were hoping to get. I think he's going to be even better next year. Ali Marpet continues to show why he's worthy of where we took him. DeMar Dotson, very happy with him. Overall, individually, I think we're happy. I think just like all position groups, we just need some improvement, and I think they will this year. George Warhop will be the first to tell you that we need to make some improvements there. And I think we're definitely capable. We have the right individuals, the right foundation there. Because, of course, we always want to add depth, and we're always going to look for the best. Put the best 5 out there, so whoever that is. You know what? I can't answer that. It's just, I guess, it's supply and demand. A lot of teams are happy with their guy. It's only 32 positions as opposed to 5 offensive line starters per team. So it's not as many out there. Well, he was cleared. I think Dirk said that. I told you guys he was cleared at the end of the season. I'm excited about that. At this point, we'll continue to monitor him, where he's at from a physical standpoint. We're going to put the best 5 players out there, and we've got Dirk and his staff do a great job of working, cross-training guys, guard, center, guard, tackle. We've got a lot of guys that are capable of playing both guard and center. If Sweezy is healthy and he's with us, which we'd be excited for, we'll put the best 5 out there.
How significant a chip is it to have no state income tax when you're talking about
I think it may help a little bit, but if you haven't sat behind a negotiation with an agent, it doesn't seem to help at that point. So they'll find it, it's great living in a state with no state income tax, but they find other ways to get you. So. Yeah, we'd love to have Mike back in a perfect scenario. It's going to depend on, I think for him, he's going to have some opportunities, where it is, what the landscape is there, and how good of a chance he has to start there. But we'd love to have him back.